Chosen one, this is your godly moment. This moment is unlike anything you've ever experienced before. It's not just a breakthrough, it's your divine unfolding. You are not the same person you were yesterday. The very air around you carries a sacred vibration. Everything is aligning because this moment, right now, is the one that was written long before time began. This is the moment you were built for. This is the moment your spirit has cried out for in silence. This is your godly moment. Don't blink, don't doubt, and don't delay. Before you go further, hear this. This is not just a video. It's a spiritual appointment. Watch until the very end and allow your soul to fully receive what is meant for you. If your heart feels this message, I encourage you to comment your warmest wishes. Type 99 and 777 in the comments and subscribe to this glory journey. The gates have opened. Now walk through. You don't chase divine moments. They arrive like thunder in the stillness. And when they do, everything inside you recognizes them. The trembling in your bones isn't fear. It's destiny humming through your being. You've stepped into the timeline that was crafted only for you. The whispers you've been hearing lately, the signs repeating, the doors unlocking when you least expected them, that's confirmation. The delays were not denial. The wait wasn't wasted. The silence wasn't rejection. It was divine orchestration. This moment, your godly moment, is where time, space, and purpose collide. Not because you forced it, but because heaven endorsed it. What is unfolding now has divine fingerprints all over it. You're not entering this moment by accident, but by appointment. You didn't manifest this through random luck. You manifested this by surviving the fire and still choosing light. You are here because you endured. You are here because you were faithful. You are here because this is the moment your soul signed up for long before your birth. You might be asking yourself, why now? Why this shift? Why this undeniable pull toward purpose? It's because God never forgot you. The universe never forgot what was written. And while others rushed ahead or chased fleeting things, you were being prepared in the shadows. This moment is the reward for every no that you honored, every season you endured in silence, and every time you stayed when walking away would have been easier. You are being honored in divine time. You see, many have moments, but not all moments are godly. This one is. This is sacred. It's drenched in purpose. The energy you're feeling isn't pressure, it's power. You're not just walking into opportunity, you're walking into prophecy. This is the moment that heaven and earth collaborated for. Everything is responding to you differently because you're vibrating on a higher frequency. Your mind has shifted. Your spirit has matured. Your energy has realigned. You're no longer asking for the door. You are the door. In this godly moment, clarity is sharp. You can finally see who's for you and who's been draining you. The veil is lifted. Distractions are no longer tempting. What used to break you can't even touch you now. Your old self is watching in awe as your new self rises like dawn. The version of you that doubted, feared, over-explained, settled, that version no longer gets a say. Because this moment is reserved for the elevated you, the chosen you, the one who understands the weight of their calling and still says, yes. You were not chosen to be normal. You were not called to blend in. And this godly moment is the proof. Everything that tried to disqualify you was actually a part of your training. The rejection was redirection. The loss was a shift. The loneliness was preparation. And now, the lights are on. Your name is being whispered in rooms where decisions are made. Your presence is being felt even before you enter. What's coming next isn't just a blessing. It's a divine release. It's heaven pouring out what was delayed but never denied. Let me remind you, divine moments are often uncomfortable. That's how you know they're real. They require faith over fear, obedience over logic. This is why you feel the shaking. This is why you feel the urgency. Because when it's a godly moment, it requires a godly version of you. One that doesn't second-guess the anointing. One that doesn't apologize for the glow. One that stands tall, even if their voice shakes. This is not the moment to shrink. This is not the moment to hide behind false humility. This is the moment to walk boldly, knowing that you carry something rare, something powerful, something divine. You don't have to explain yourself anymore. You don't have to beg to be seen. You don't have to wait to be chosen. You were already chosen, already marked, already crowned in the Spirit. Now, the physical world is just catching up to what has already been settled in the heavens. And the most incredible part? You haven't even seen the full picture yet. What's coming will surpass your expectations. Because godly moments don't come to satisfy you. They come to stretch you. They expand you into places your mind couldn't imagine. They elevate your voice, your influence, your impact. The doors you're about to walk through don't just benefit you. They will bless generations. Your obedience is a seed, and this moment is the harvest. Don't be surprised when people from your past try to return. When they sense your elevation, they will want access. But you must protect this divine space. Not everyone can go where you're going. This moment is too holy to be diluted by confusion. You are not being arrogant, you're being obedient. You're not isolating, you're being set apart. There's a difference. And deep down, you know that difference. You feel it every time your soul vibrates when something isn't aligned. That's God fine-tuning your discernment for this divine chapter. This is the moment that will be talked about later. This is the moment people will look back on and say, something changed in them that day. This is the hinge in the door of your destiny. Everything is swinging open because you're finally standing in the right position. Not begging, not rushing, just aligned. And that alignment is magnetic. Opportunities, resources, divine encounters, they are flowing in your direction because your frequency now matches your future. You've crossed a threshold now. There's no turning back to the version of you who doubted, hesitated, or asked for permission. That chapter has been sealed. The version of you that is standing here now, awake, aware, and ready, is the one that will walk through the divine assignments ahead. And make no mistake, they are divine. They are not ordinary opportunities. They are appointments coded into your existence long ago. And now that you've answered the call, heaven is responding with acceleration. There is a reason your dreams are intensifying. There is a reason your spirit won't rest. Your mind is shifting from asking when to declaring now. That is not ego, that is divine awareness. You are no longer hoping. It's as if you already know it's yours. That's because this moment is spiritual before it is physical. You're not chasing manifestations, you're aligning with fulfillment. And fulfillment has a sound, a rhythm, a pattern, and you've learned how to move with it. The people around you may not understand this change. That's okay. You weren't built for their understanding. You were built for God's instruction. Some will say you've changed, and you have. But what they don't realize is you've simply returned to your original design. This is who you were always meant to be, before the world taught you to shrink, before pain tried to silence you, before rejection tried to redefine you. In this moment, you're shedding layers that were never yours. You are becoming what you already are. Your spiritual eyes are open now. You're seeing beyond what can be seen. You're hearing truth beneath noise. You're feeling the weight of divine time on your shoulders. That's not pressure, it's purpose manifesting. This is why you can no longer tolerate confusion, shallow conversations, or temporary distractions. This is why your spirit aches around people who don't understand elevation. It's not personal, it's spiritual. Your environment is being curated by divine intelligence. You're no longer interested in being entertained, you're seeking alignment. You no longer crave attention, you crave authenticity. You no longer need validation, you stand in revelation. That shift alone is your spiritual promotion. You've outgrown the illusion of being small. You're not trying to impress the world anymore. You're trying to obey your divine call. That's what separates the chosen from the called. That's what elevates this moment from good to godly. And yes, this moment will cost you. It will cost your comfort. It will cost your need to be liked. It will cost your desire for certainty. But what it gives you in return is peace, clarity, fire, vision, divine guidance, power, and most of all, movement. This is the moment when stagnant energy breaks, where invisible walls fall, where things that resisted you for years now open without a knock. You'll look around and wonder how everything changed so quickly, but it wasn't quick. It was building, silently, powerfully, until now. You weren't behind. You weren't forgotten. You weren't overlooked. You were being fortified. The delay was divine insulation. The setbacks were spiritual recalibrations. The silence was heaven making room for the noise of glory. Now you will hear your name in rooms your feet have not yet touched. You will receive calls that shift your direction without effort. You will be placed in the right conversations at the right time, saying the exact words needed, because your spirit is finally in sync. Don't be surprised when you start feeling emotional for no reason, when you start crying at random moments, when you feel your heart swelling without cause. That is the soul awakening. That is your higher self taking the front seat. That is your inner being remembering who you truly are. It's not confusion, it's transformation. It's not breakdown, it's spiritual clarity. And every part of you is adjusting to this new alignment. You might feel the urge to isolate during this time, and that's okay. Sacred moments often require sacred solitude, not because you're broken, but because you're birthing something. And birthing isn't public, it's private, it's holy. You don't need to explain this to anyone. Those who understand won't ask, and those who ask won't understand. Honor your process. Trust the unfolding. Respect the silence. This is the moment that your future self will look back on and thank you for. This is the moment when timelines shifted in your favor. This is when your inner world became more powerful than your outer world. And because of that, the outer world began to reflect the change. This is when your thoughts became commands, your prayers became blueprints, and your energy became a portal. It is happening. Not tomorrow, not later. Now. This is not a prelude. This is not a rehearsal. This is the scene where your soul finally catches up to its promise, and everything is responding accordingly. Don't resist the elevation. Don't second-guess the opportunity. You've already been confirmed by forces far greater than anything around you. You've been stamped with favor. You've been sealed with purpose. This is the divine appointment you didn't even know you were walking toward. And now, you're standing in it. This is the energy shift that can no longer be denied. It's like gravity has shifted in your favor. Doors that once required effort are now sensing your arrival before you even knock. You don't have to fight anymore. This moment fights for you. The heavens are echoing your name because something deep within you finally agreed with what has always been true. You were made for this. You didn't arrive here by accident. You arrived here by alignment. You see, godly moments don't announce themselves with loud trumpets. They arrive quietly, but when they land, the whole atmosphere changes. The room feels different when you enter. People pause, and they don't even know why. Your voice carries more weight. Your words linger in the air longer. That's not charisma. That's anointing. That's divine presence flowing through you. And the more you accept it without apology, the more that presence magnifies. You've been conditioned to underestimate yourself because the world fears what it cannot control. But now, you've broken that conditioning. You no longer need to be small to make others feel comfortable. You no longer dim your light for fear of being too much. In fact, the ones who used to criticize your light will now need it to find their way. The very thing they misunderstood about you is the thing that will deliver them. You are the evidence that obedience leads to overflow. This divine moment is not just about you. It's about everyone who will be blessed through you. That's why the shift was so intense. That's why the resistance was so long. The weight of your calling required a deeper preparation. You weren't just being prepared for a blessing. You were being prepared to become a blessing. Your presence is no longer neutral. When you speak, people heal. When you walk in, energy realigns. When you decide, the atmosphere responds. This is why certain rooms now feel too small. Certain conversations now feel out of sync. It's not arrogance, it's awareness. You're not being cold, you're being called. You're not distant, you're being directed. And you don't need to justify it. The new frequency you're on won't tolerate anything that's not holy, whole, and in harmony. Anything that tries to latch onto the old version of you will find itself confused because that version no longer exists. You've shed the outdated energies. You've outgrown what once defined you. You are the vessel. You are the testimony. You are the proof that divine timing is real. And the reason everything feels so intense right now is because you're stepping into what others only dream about. But remember this, don't allow the magnitude of the blessing to scare you. You've earned this, not by striving, but by surrender, not by manipulation, but by trusting the flow. You're not an imposter, you're the fulfillment. You are no longer in the waiting room. You are in the fulfillment room. And in this room, everything aligns without effort. The people who are for you will find you. The opportunities that belong to you will not pass you by. The clarity you seek will arrive when you stop searching and start listening. You are no longer chasing timelines. You are walking with divine rhythm. That is why things are speeding up now. Not because you're working harder, but because you've stopped resisting alignment. This moment is divine because it is complete. It doesn't need outside confirmation. It doesn't need a stamp of approval. The presence you carry now is the confirmation. And even in moments when you feel unsure, something inside you knows that you've crossed into sacred territory. You've become a mirror for others, showing them what it looks like to walk boldly in divine identity. You don't have to explain it. You don't have to defend it. Just live it. You are no longer who you used to be. You are no longer available to what you once tolerated. You are no longer drawn to what used to tempt you. This moment came with a purification, a refining, a holy transformation. And because of that, your spirit is finally breathing deeply. Peace doesn't feel foreign anymore. It feels like home. And when you have that peace, nothing can steal your posture. This moment is godly, not because it's perfect, but because it's yours. It's divine because it fits your soul like a key in a lock. It unlocks things in you that had been buried. It stirs the waters of your purpose. It breathes fire into your vision. It awakens dreams you had forgotten how to believe in. And it brings a stillness to your spirit that whispers, "This is exactly where you're meant to be." Your godly moment isn't just a feeling. It's an awareness, an awakening, a recalibration of your soul. And from this moment forward, things won't go back to how they were. The threshold has been crossed. The elevation is irreversible. The blessing is irreversible. The calling is irreversible. The shift is permanent. And deep inside, you know it. Even if things around you don't look like they've changed, you have. And because you've changed, everything must respond. The energy you bring into the room now shifts the dynamics. The presence you carry now clears confusion. The light you radiate now reveals what's hidden. You are not the same. You cannot be unseen. You cannot be silenced. You cannot be stopped. Because this moment is sealed in divine authority. The coming days will reveal more clarity, more confirmation, more connections. But don't rush the revelation. Let it unfold like a divine painting. Stay grounded, stay open, stay obedient. The seeds have already been planted. The rain has already begun. The bloom is inevitable. You are walking into it now, step by step, breath by breath, with the confidence that this is your moment, and it is divinely orchestrated. You are not late, you are not early, you are exactly on divine time. The kind of time that doesn't answer to clocks or calendars, but to spiritual readiness. That moment you're living in right now, where everything suddenly makes sense without needing an explanation, is the evidence that divine timing is real. You are in the moment that was meant for you, not borrowed, not forced, not rushed, pure, sacred, personal, and most of all, yours. Don't let the outside world make you question what you know on the inside. The spiritual world is always ahead of the physical one. The breakthrough has already happened within you. What's happening now is just the manifestation, catching up to your inner shift. That's why this moment feels both brand new and strangely familiar at the same time, because in your spirit, you've already lived it. You dreamed it. You prepared for it in silence. You bled for it in private. And now you're walking in it with grace. There's a softness in your energy now, a softness that doesn't come from weakness, but from wisdom. You no longer react, you discern. You don't compete, you align. You don't hustle, you attract. That shift alone has rerouted your entire future. This is what divine alignment looks like. It's not chaos, it's clarity. It's not noise, it's knowing. And when you live in that knowing, your life becomes a mirror for peace, power, and purpose. And chosen one, let this settle deeply in your soul. You are not being lifted for applause. You are being lifted for assignment. This moment isn't just about what you receive, it's about what you're becoming, what you're embodying, what you're now responsible for. You are not stepping into the spotlight. You are stepping into sacred ground. And with that ground comes new levels of wisdom, discernment, and authority. That authority isn't loud. It doesn't need to convince. It simply is. People will begin to listen to you differently now. They won't always know why, but they'll feel something sacred in your words. That's because you're not speaking from ego anymore. You're speaking from experience, from elevation, from divine wisdom. You carry something they can't Google, can't imitate, can't buy. And that something is exactly what makes this moment yours. But don't be surprised if old environments start rejecting you. That's a natural part of elevation. You can't live in a new frequency while entertaining the echoes of a past version of yourself. Certain friendships will start to feel like mismatched vibrations. Certain routines will feel draining. Certain thoughts will lose their grip. And that's okay. It's not loss. It's release. You're not breaking down. You're breaking through. You're learning that being chosen isn't about being perfect. It's about being willing. Willing to grow. Willing to release. Willing to walk into the unknown with trust. That's what makes this moment godly. It's not just a reward, it's a renewal, a rebirth, a spiritual awakening that shakes your old self until all that's left is truth. And the truth is, you were made for more. You were made for this. The weight of that truth may feel heavy. It may feel like too much at times. But breathe. You're not carrying it alone. Divine support surrounds you now more than ever. Signs are multiplying. Synchronicities are aligning. Even your rest feels different. Even your silence speaks louder than your words once did. That's because your energy has become the message. You're no longer trying to be seen. You are seen. You're no longer trying to be heard. You've become the voice. This moment is not a moment to question. It's a moment to anchor. Anchor yourself in your truth, in your values, in your knowing. You don't need to rush ahead. Everything that is meant for you is not only on the way, it's already here. Your spirit recognized it before your mind caught up. That's why you've been feeling the shift. That's why your sleep has changed. That's why your body is sensing new energy. It's not random. It's divine alignment in real time. And this is important. Don't underestimate the power of stillness right now. You don't need to explain this moment to others. You don't need to defend your transformation. Let your life speak for itself. Let your silence echo louder than noise. Godly moments are often too sacred for crowds. Protect this moment like you would a seed just planted. Water it with faith. Guard it with discernment. Let it root deeply before it blooms wildly. The divine doesn't elevate randomly. It elevates intentionally. It chose you because your heart could carry this, because your spirit could steward it, because your mind could hold the vision. You were equipped long before you were visible. That's why this moment feels both surreal and inevitable. It's not happening to you. It's happening through you. You're being called forward now, not to perform, but to be, to embody what you've learned, to stand in what you've claimed, to honor what you've survived, and to serve from the overflow of what has been poured into you. This is divine flow. This is sacred transition. This is what alignment looks like. This is what destiny feels like. And above all, this is what your godly moment truly is. You are no longer preparing for the moment. You are in the moment. This is not a test, not a rehearsal. This is real. It's the manifestation of everything you felt in your spirit long before it arrived. That quiet knowing that something greater was coming. It's here, and it doesn't come with chaos. but with clarity. It doesn't demand your energy, it confirms it. And in this sacred confirmation, your whole being is responding. You may find yourself noticing details you never noticed before. The subtle beauty in stillness, the quiet confirmation in timing, the small shifts in energy around you. These are not coincidences. This is divine perception sharpening. You're not just living, you're tuned in. You're not just moving, you're being moved. The path is unfolding in front of you, not because you're figuring it all out, but because you're finally trusting what's already been figured out for you. Everything you thought you lost was never truly gone. It was being restructured. The people, the opportunities, the time, all of it. You are now walking into restoration. But this restoration is not like the past. It's better. It's refined. It's mature. It's drenched in divine wisdom. You've outgrown the need to prove yourself, and because of that, the rewards will come with grace instead of grind. This is why certain people cannot come with you, not out of cruelty, but out of necessity. Their role in your story is complete. Your frequency has shifted, and their chapter has ended. Let them go without resentment. Let them go without needing closure. The moment you stopped vibrating in survival mode, you made room for new alignment. Those who are meant to walk with you now will not compete, confuse, or control. They will speak the language of purpose. They will honor your light because they see their own within it. There is a sacred responsibility in this godly moment. You are now a reflection of what's possible. Your life is a message, not because it's perfect, but because it's real, because it's rooted in something higher. You no longer speak for applause, you speak from alignment. You don't react, you respond. You don't rush, you flow. That level of peace is loud in a world of noise. And that peace is exactly what confirms the presence of divinity in this moment. You are no longer who you were, and that's a blessing. You've shed layers of fear, shame, guilt, and doubt. Your energy has softened, but your spirit has strengthened. You walk with compassion, but you also walk with power. You understand now that you don't have to be loud to be heard. You don't have to be seen to be known. You don't have to be everywhere to be effective. Your impact isn't measured in numbers. It's measured in energy, in authenticity, in presence. And your presence right now? It carries divine frequency. People may not be able to explain it, but they feel it. Your words linger. Your silence heals. Your eye contact shifts energy. You are embodying something eternal in a temporary world. And because of that, doors are opening, hearts are opening, possibilities are opening, not because of strategy, but because of spirit. This godly moment is not just about arrival, it's about awareness. Awareness that you are no longer waiting for the light. You are the light. You're no longer chasing alignment, you are alignment. That shift changes everything. You're not looking for the next moment, you're anchored in this one. And because of that, divine overflow becomes your default. You are no longer surviving, you are activating. And as you activate, everything around you will begin to shift. Your relationships will recalibrate. Your finances will find new flow. Your creativity will spark again. Your body will respond to new peace. Even your physical posture will change. Less tension, more grace. Less effort, more intention. That is what happens when you live from a godly moment. Your very being becomes a vessel. But remember this, godly moments require godly maintenance. Protect your energy, protect your boundaries, protect your time. This is not the season to explain yourself, to people who are not ready for your elevation. Your destiny does not require their approval. Keep your eyes on the vision. Keep your spirit in alignment, and let the world adjust to your new reality. You are not being arrogant. You are not being distant. You are not being selfish. You are being sacred. You are honoring what has been entrusted to you. And when you treat this moment as holy, more holiness is released. This is how multiplication begins, not just of things, but of purpose, of peace, of impact, of power. You are walking in a divine flow now, a flow where things come to you because they belong to you, where your name is being mentioned in rooms that align with your calling, where your energy introduces you long before you speak. This is what happens when you stop chasing and start becoming, when you stop forcing and start flowing, when you stop striving and start surrendering. So walk gently but boldly, speak softly but with authority, love deeply but with boundaries, and trust that the moment you are in is not only sacred but sustainable. Trust that you were prepared for this, that every tear, every prayer, every delay shaped you for this very hour. You don't need a sign anymore. You are the sign. You don't need more proof. You are the proof. You are the reflection of divine intelligence in motion. And this moment is proof that obedience opens portals, that surrender unlocks sacred timing, that belief births miracles. And chosen one, the miracles are only beginning. You've reached the summit of a sacred timeline. This isn't just a high point, it's a holy place. You're standing where many never reach, not because they aren't called, but because they aren't ready to release the old. You were. You let go. And because of that, you rose. This godly moment is a celebration of your surrender, of your commitment, of your unseen obedience, of your yes in the dark that now shines in the light. There is a frequency in the atmosphere that follows the chosen ones, those who carry divine clarity. That frequency has surrounded you. It marks your thoughts, your voice, your energy. People are drawn to you, not just because of what you say or do, but because of what you carry. And what you carry now is divine evidence. Evidence of the fire you walked through and the grace you never let go of. You are clothed in something eternal, and it can't be faked. From this moment on, you must understand something deeply. Your life is not just your life anymore. It is a vessel. It is a ripple. It is an opening for heaven to move. Your elevation is not for ego. It is for divine impact. What flows through you now will break chains in others. The way you walk, speak, think, love, it will all become medicine for souls searching for a way forward. That's what this godly moment has unlocked. You are no longer looking for your purpose. You are your purpose. And with that realization comes an even greater release. Peace. Real peace. The kind of peace that doesn't need a reason. The kind that sits with you in silence and wraps itself around your shoulders like warmth. You no longer need to strive. You no longer need to explain. The moment has settled into your spirit like a key turning in a lock. And for the first time in a long time, you feel safe in your own becoming. You're not waiting for the next thing. You're living in the thing. The blessing is not on the horizon. It's in your now. Your presence has become your portal. Your obedience is your currency. And heaven is pouring, not because you shouted, but because you listened. Your soul aligned, and the universe responded. Yes, there will still be moments that test you, but now you respond from a different place. You don't panic, You perceive. You don't collapse. You center. You don't fight. You flow. You've become the calm in the storm, the anchor in the chaos. Not because you don't feel deeply, but because you've become rooted in something that cannot be moved. Everything that once confused you has now turned into confirmation. Every no that once hurt now looks like protection. Every delay that once felt like rejection now reveals divine orchestration. And that's the sacred brilliance of this moment. You no longer fear the unknown. You honor it, because you understand now that the unknown is where God does his best work. You don't need the full plan to take the next step. You don't need the applause to feel worthy. You don't need the crowd to feel validated. You've been given something better, divine confidence, a quiet, unshakable knowing that no matter what happens around you, you are held, guided, elevated, and divinely equipped. And from this place of spiritual power, you will begin to unlock doors you didn't even know existed. Opportunities will present themselves without effort. Divine connections will appear without warning, and everything you touch will begin to respond with ease, because your energy is no longer built on striving, it's built on being. You've entered the realm of divine attraction. You will feel the wind of favor at your back, the kind of favor that can't be bought, taught, or explained. And as you move forward in this moment, remember, it is not your job to convince anyone of your light. It is simply your job to shine, to walk in truth, to stand in peace, to lead with love, and to move in rhythm with what heaven is doing in you. This is your godly moment, and it is not fading. It is not fleeting. It is established. It is planted. It is sustained by a power greater than you. And every day you wake up in alignment with that power, you multiply the impact of your calling. Every breath becomes purpose. Every step becomes legacy. Every word becomes a tool for healing. So take one final breath and feel what this moment has done to you. Feel how your body carries it. Feel how your heart has expanded. Feel how your spirit has settled. You are no longer the version of you that doubted, feared, or begged for scraps of recognition. You are the version that knows. You are the version that rises. You are the version that leads. Chosen one, this is your godly moment. And it is divine not just because of what is happening around you, but because of what has awakened within you. You are aligned. You are appointed. You are ready, and everything will flow from here.